Okay, boys and girls, we're gonna work on two different projects today, and they both have to do with heart art, so art that has hearts in it. We're gonna start with a drawing project, and then we're going to move into a string art project. So I'm gonna explain your drawing project first. So I have a new artist that I want to introduce you to who relates to our next project, and we're gonna get some inspiration from him. His name is Jay Goldcrown. So here's Jay Goldcrown, and he is what we consider a mural artist. So he has this style that he loves, and he loves to paint hearts on the sides of buildings and on big walls outside. So when we say a mural artist, we just mean somebody who creates art outside and it's very, very large. So usually it's on the side of a building, kind of like his art here. He usually creates his art in the city, and what he loves to do is spread the message of love. So after he paints these big murals with lots of overlapping colorful hearts, he usually spray paints the word love in the center. Here's another picture of him sitting by one of his murals. So he just fills the whole building with these hearts. And when anybody walks past in the city, they are reminded of love and happiness. So he loves to spread the idea of love. So we are gonna work on a project that's kind of like his style. So you're gonna start with your black piece of paper, and we're gonna use something today called chalk pastel. So what I would like you to start with is on your black piece of paper, you're just gonna have the chalk pastel bin at your table, and you're going to start to draw some hearts. And remember, we wanna overlap our hearts in different ways. So start with one color, any color. To draw your heart, you're just going to go up and down like this. You can practice this on the back of your paper a couple times if you need some help. And then I want you to spread these hearts out all over your black paper. Okay, so we're not gonna touch the hearts. We're just going to draw them out on our black paper. And then once we've drawn a few with one color, what I want you to do with a few of them is take your finger and just blend the chalk a little bit. So that means just really carefully go over the chalk once or twice in the same direction as your heart and smooth them out. This kind of looks like the effect that Jay Goldcrown has when he spray paints those hearts on the wall. It makes them look like they're kind of fading, like they're made with spray paint. So I'm just gonna do this a couple times for each heart, and then I'm gonna move on to a new color. So notice how I'm not taking my hand and rubbing all over, I'm just going over the heart a couple times. Now I think it looks really great if you take your hearts and you go over the other hearts in the background. So that's how we're gonna layer our hearts. Some are in the back, some are in the front, and we're really gonna cover our paper all the way with all these colorful hearts. So once I've drawn a few more hearts, I can do the same thing. Smooth them out a little bit, very carefully, and then keep going with more colors. Some of your hearts don't have to be smoothed out. Some of them can just be drawn like this without smoothing with your finger. That's fine. That adds a little bit of what we call variety, a little bit of difference between your hearts. So I think I'm gonna keep the red and the blue just the way they are. Okay, I'm gonna keep going and going until I layer all my hearts, kind of just like our artist that we saw. And then once I'm finished, in the center of my little heart mural, I can write a word. So you can copy the word love like our artist does, or you can try and think of your own word to put in the center of your mural, okay? So I like to use my white chalk so it really stands out against the black, and it's right in the center of my paper. Once I finish my heart mural project, I need to remember to put my name on the bottom or the back, and then I'm gonna start my string art project. So our string art project is kind of like this artist here. So when we take our string and we go back and forth between a shape, we call this weaving. We weave in and out to create a colorful shape. So what you're gonna start with is a paper plate, and I have cut out a heart and I punched some holes all around the heart. So what you're going to do is take one color of yarn, so just grab one roll at your table. You're gonna cut off a long piece. So get a little bit here in a pile, and then cut off a whole long piece with your scissors. Okay, now just like our bird project, I'm gonna take the end of my long piece of yarn, take a little bit of tape, and I'm just gonna tape it to the back of my paper plate. Okay, so the back of my paper plate is this side. All right, now once I've taped the back of that to the paper plate, I'm gonna find the other end of the string. So the other end is right over here. Now I'm gonna start to take my string and go in and out of the holes. So look at how my other end here is on the back of the paper plate. That means I need to start in the back here. So I'll pick any random hole on the back, pull my string through, and I've made my first line. So now my string is in the front of my paper plate. I have to find the end of it again. Here's the end. And I'm gonna go through one of the holes in the front of the paper plate. So I can just go across here and stick my yarn through that hole and then pull it through that hole. Okay, so I made another line here. Now look at, my yarn is coming from the back, so I have to find a hole in the back now, across from this hole, push it through and then pull my yarn. Okay, the more times I do this, the more I'm gonna see my colorful heart start to come to life. So look at, my string is in the front of the paper plate now. I'm gonna find a hole in the front and go through the hole in the front here and pull, pull, pull. Okay, I'm gonna keep going here. The only thing I do not wanna do is, if my string is in the back here now, I don't wanna pull my string over to the front and go through a hole in the front. We don't want our string to go over the plate. So if I'm in the back here, I have to find the end of my string again and go through a hole in the back. Pull, pull, pull my string, and then flip it to the front. Now I'm in a hole in the front. I'm gonna go find another hole in the front. Okay, now when I'm finished with this, the rule is I should probably go through every single hole at least once. Okay, so see my heart here, there's a lot of string overlap and I can see my colorful heart. This is probably not enough yet. I'm gonna keep going in and out of the holes and weaving my string until I finish this, okay? All right, so we have 2 projects to work on today. Let's start with our black paper and our chalk, and then once you're ready, you can get your plate and your yarn.